women. So your period disrupted your marathon, and in a way you used that to disrupt how people kind of conceive how we embrace
Definitely, and I think, you know, for anybody watching, one takeaway that I would hope that anyone would listen is sometimes when we're brave just for ourselves, without the intention of being brave for anybody else, you have enormous power to make change in the world. And I wasn't trying to do that for anybody else except for me to cross the finish line in a way that felt good. And in doing so, it started this viral, global conversation about how we treat menstruation and stigma in various parts of the world.
How do you use that in your music?
Lyrically, you know, I have a song, The Future is Female, and one of the lines is, you know, the system must make room for all that we do. We've been bleeding each month till we gave birth to you. You know, it's just fact. And so all this stigmatization, it doesn't even make sense logically. It's just a beautiful part of the human anatomy. So that's definitely one way. And then I think it's about teaching confidence. Like, I really felt confident as a marathoner. I don't know if I could have had that same bravery in another scenario, but I knew that there was power in the fact that I was doing this elite thing. So how can someone from the sidelines point and laugh? I'm like, why don't you come try to run 26 miles? And similarly, women and people who bleed all around the world are doing amazing things on our cycle, and on top of that, we have to be quiet about it, and on top of that, we have to suffer. How did that happen? Yeah. It's ridiculous. We should actually be celebrated as such fierce femmes, that we can be doing something that's painful and difficult, but also living our daily life.
Right. How do we do that, though? How can we do that?
I think the simplest step is for each of us to take responsibility for our own sphere of influence. So instead of being quiet when you talk about your cycle, talk about it comfortably and with elegance and with simplicity. Like, hey, I'm in pain today. And instead of lying and say you're in pain because of a fever or because of an illness, being open. You know, I'm on my cycle today. I don't feel so comfortable. Even for me, I'm on my own journey learning about my own moodiness and owning it instead of letting other people make fun of us and put us down for it. Instead, I manage my own emotions. I say, oh yeah, I'm going to have a great race today, or I'm going to have a great day today because I'm on this part of my cycle. Or I might be self-aware, and when I'm with my team, I might say, hey guys, like, I'm a little bit uncomfortable today because of my cycle, but I'm here and I want to do my best, and just know that. You know?
To be able to talk to people about it, you know, all genders together, because it's all relevant to everybody.
Definitely. I think another step that you can take beyond just destigmatizing verbally is participate in donating products to your local homeless shelter or to your local prison system. Every Sunday, every fourth Sunday of the month in downtown Los Angeles, we walk a bunch of homeless care packages of menstrual products to different women and people who bleed in the community. And that's really important because obviously those folks don't have access to those products, but now they do.
Yeah.
And everyone deserves to live in dignity.
Yeah, and that's great that you brought that up, because we just did this drive at UH with you there talking to our students, and they were really happy to donate their products. We put them in handbags and we gave it to Rainbow Family 808, which is an organization that supports LGBT homeless teens. And we take it for granted. I mean, homeless is a huge issue here, but let's break it down to the smaller things about why is a teenager homeless to begin with, and what is their life about, and it's really huge, important things to talk about. Now, you are performing here. You have a gig at the hotel. Let's talk about that.
I'm really stoked. M.I.A Media Group, which was the sort of force behind Flux Magazine and Lay Magazine, which are here local in Hawaii, they brought me out for a show. They saw my show in New York City and were super amped up about it. And they said, we want you to come do our Christmas party. Oh, wow. So for that show, I've put together really something special where it's going to be a 7-piece, all-female band of half my band coming in from LA tomorrow, and then half local musicians. So we're going to have a band and cover a couple of Hawaiian songs, as well as play my own original music and celebrate at the Alohilani Hotel on Friday. And then
we have a flyer, I think, we can show people.
Definitely.
That's this Friday.
Yep. Actually, and so this one, the one that you're showing right now, is a gig this evening, tonight, Tuesday, December 11th, 6 to 8 p.m. It's going to be a talk followed by a DJ set at Bar 35.
Where's Bar 35? Is it in Chinatown?
You tell me. I'm the new person here.
It's just down the street from here. Okay, so if you guys are downtown, Bar 23?
Yep, 25.
25.
35. Bar 35.
Bar 35, sorry. What time?
6 to 8 p.m.
That's tonight?
Yes.
With a talk?
Yes.
And then this Friday is the amazing gig with the 7-piece women's band.
Yes, exactly.
That is so cool.
And for anybody watching, just DM me on my Instagram and we'll try to get you
What's your
into whichever
Instagram?
show. At Madame Gandhi.
Tell me why your name is Madame Gandhi.
Well, my last name is Gandhi, and for Madam, you know, when I spent a lot of time in India growing up, I would see a lot of folks being referred to as Madam. Okay, Madam, come here, Madam. Yes, this Madam. And there was this sort of like built-in, elegant female respect that I really liked. And for me, it's about instead of women trying to masculinize in order to be perceived as strong and as intelligent leaders. I'm really interested in us as women leading from our femme and leading from the divine femininity in all of us, and sort of developing what that even means. And so I liked the word madam because it has this inherent sort of female leadership energy, much like a Oprah or sort of like the mother of the house.
Okay.
But taking those same principles and applying them to other spheres of influence, I thought was really powerful.
So that's kind of a very strong maternal image there. But how does color come into play? We were just talking, I was talking to Jay about, you know, racism and the implications of color and women, that combination. And so how does that work in your life and your approach? Does that affect the way your voice is?
Explain, the question is so big. What do you mean?
I know.
No,
well, so you're of Indian descent.
Yes.
Growing up in LA, but you were born in New York.
Yep.
I feel like through your music, there's a lot of strong traditional things in there. I feel the music.
Musically,
Yes,
yeah,
the way
definitely.
you move. It's in your blood.
Definitely.
I mean, it's really quite cool. So, you know, you embody this concept of cultural identity and weaving it into your feminist approach. So
yes.
how does that work for you?
You know what? I love that you asked me that question, because when I was younger, I actually felt bad that sometimes I connected more with Brazilian and African music than I did with my own Indian heritage music, whether it was tabla or Bollywood music. Now, later in my journey, I love it. But I think it's important for each of us to be super honest about who we are and honest about our identity. And I wanted to, instead of saying, oh yeah, I love Bollywood, even if that was a lie, I'd rather say, I love the drumming in Bhangra music, and I love the dancing that I see in the Punjabi region where my father is from, because it's so joyful and uplifting and equal. You know, it feels equal between the men and the women in a way. I'm sure it's not, but at least the women play a prominent role in both the dancing and oftentimes, sometimes even the drumming. And I felt in Bollywood to this day, so many of the traditional gender roles are very, very stringent and in place and not evolving. And so I don't want to celebrate that because I reject it. I don't like it. And I think we have to be brave enough to say that's okay. And in us being honest about what we love from our cultures and what we actually want to evolve, it teaches the next generation to feel safe to do the same. And
how was the influence of your parents kind of affecting of your feminist approach on life? Was your dad kind of encouraging you to do the things you wanted to do?
I think, you know, my dad's feminism looked more like almost raising me like a little boy in a way, you know, encouraging me to always go and drum in public spaces, or like be fearless to take risk and to go for it, and to be doing a bunch of activities all the time and be really good at whatever it is that I was doing, you know. And my mom's feminism looked more like really asserting herself. She was very good at asserting herself in spaces where she felt like she was being disrespected, and very unapologetically. You know, if we had a family dinner and the waiter or waitress placed the check towards my dad instead of towards my mom, she would shut that down. She'd be like, it's the 21st century, like, why don't you place that right in the middle, and I'll take care of it. And so just moments like that where she felt very, very comfortable asserting herself taught me to do the same. And that's why the message of own your voice is on my turtlenecks that I sell at my show, and very integral to my work.
And so, to leave the audience with some takeaway, do you want to leave it with that concept of owning your voice? Give us a little shout out of what you mean by that.
Definitely. I think the marathon story taught me to own my voice. I think being 2 years at Harvard Business School, which is like the breeding ground of the capitalist patriarchy.
That's so ironic that you were there.
It is, but sometimes we have to learn how to fight fire with fire.
Yes.
It's like when I know how bad things are, it allows me to reject what we perceive as like power and privilege, and actually say, no, this is not teaching something that I necessarily ascribe with. It teaches me how to live in this world if I want to, but it also teaches me what's selfish and greedy in a lot of ways.
Wow.
So I think own your voice is about being brave enough to speak your truth, to say when something makes you feel uncomfortable, to call something out that you don't think is quite right, and to be brave enough that you might be wrong, but that you might be right. And that bravery might trigger somebody else to feel safe enough to say something. Similarly to how we've seen movements like Me Too take off, or Black Lives Matter.
It's so relevant. Madame Gandhi, if you could just take a little essence of what she just said there, you're going to take away a lot. Remember her beautiful performance here tonight at Bar 35
yes,
at 6 to 8, and this Friday
at the Aloha Lani Resort, 8 p.m.
Okay, thank you so much.
Crystal,
wishing you
pleasure.
The best performance and experience here in Hawaii.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love.
Okay, thanks for tuning into Kwok Talk. See you next time. Go see the show.